Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. So, another one of SpaceX Starship rockets have exploded. And when we look at the most audacious Elon Musk and all the achievements, the entrepreneur known for redefining industries and boldly steering humanity into the cosmos. And here we are with another space exploration that has been a shipwreck nonetheless. Because SpaceX Starship rocket, and this is Elon's ambitious vessel intended to revolutionize interplanetary travel. What occurred here, it faced a very dramatic setback during its latest test flight. Now, just 8 minutes after launching from Texas, and excitement turned into chaos when the rocket's upper stage spacecraft suffered critical engine malfunction. And then it started to spiral out of control. Now, the Starship met its spectacular end with a massive explosion over the Caribbean. So you guys can thank Elon Musk for polluting the waters over there in the beautiful Caribbean, guys. I'm not pro Elon. I'm not anti Elon. I'm just keeping it real. Now, this explosive mishap marks the second consecutive failure for the Starship program, echoing a similar event that rattled SpaceX just over a month prior. Now, what's important about this that we're not understanding is you're going to have great failure, but you're going to, again, redefine, you're going to collect all the information from all these explosions. The only aspect that I do not like about this, but I know that it's warranted, is that he's not using his money to explode these spacecrafts. These are our tax dollars. And then he investigating the government, which is good, of all the fraud, waste, and abuse. But again, Elon Musk have large government contracts. So he's not using his own money. Now, is this going to waver when he tried to renew the contract with NASA? It's possible. But again, he's not using his own money. And failures and explosion, in order for us to revolutionize technology for space, these things are going to happen. With great failure comes, volumes of wisdom. But in response, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, and don't forget, Musk has previously partnered with to innovate air traffic communication using Starlink technology. So Elon Musk is heavily involved in the government. And I'm not saying this is bad or good, by the way. I'll let you guys come up with your own consensus. He has billion-dollar SpaceX contracts. And now what seems to be offerings of large billion-dollar contracts with Starlink. They're stating that his Starlink footprint in the federal government is increasing. I wonder how influential, because if you look at, let me show you guys something that I mapped out here very quickly. If you don't mind, I'm gonna try to read. I'm not a good reader, but I'll try my best. It states that Starlink, the satellite internet service controlled by billionaire Elon Musk and his rocket company SpaceX, is expanding its footprint in the federal government weeks after the billionaire began slashing the federal workforce and agency budgets under President Donald Trump. Isn't it ironic that NBC News made that connection? Good job, NBC. Multiple federal agencies are exploring the idea of adopting SpaceX Starlink for internet access. Multiple federal agencies. They're considering adopting SpaceX Starlink for internet access. And at least one agency, the GSA, has done so at the request. They have done so at the request of Musk's staff, meaning Doge. Hey, you guys should adopt Elon Musk Starlink for your internet access. Okay, we'll do that. And that's from Elon Musk Doge team. Now, it states at the end here, despite a vow by Musk and Trump to slash the overall federal budget. It goes on to state Starlink's expansion is sparking outcry among congressional Democrats because of Musk's dual position. He is the founder and CEO of SpaceX and Starlink, blah, 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 blah. With an expansive portfolio across who? The government. Yes. Finally, something that the Democrats can legitimately cry about. Yes, you should be raising a red flag about this. You are auditing the entire government. You're the richest man in the world because of the billion-dollar contract that the government has given you. And now you are expanding your footprint. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away what people think about Elon as far as his intelligence, his genius of building Tesla and SpaceX and the Boring Company and all other sort of things he has. And yes, the government should purchase, they should lease, they should buy the very best, especially if it's by an African-American like Elon Musk. So again, I'm not stating none of that, but I'm stating, now here's some conspiracy theories for me. This is my own. I haven't read this. What if Elon Musk is secretly trying to take over the world? And he starts with the most powerful country in the world and take over their systems. He takes over space first because there's no hierarchy other than space. You can't go no higher than space. So he first takes over space. Then he simultaneously is taking over land with autonomous driving vehicles and 18-wheelers and cars. Then he take over the airways with Starlink. Then he take over the tunnels by building tunnels for his cars and his network called the Boring Company. So he's controlling almost every aspect of the world on a very large footprint. Is that a conspiracy theory? That's what I thought of one day. Who says it's true? I'm not saying it's true. That is my conjecture. I just thought it was fun. I don't know. Donald Trump moving back the hands of times because he has expressed his commitment to dismantling, or rather getting into a debate over daylight savings time. And his stance, the details of it were not covered in the provided sources that I was looking through, but his involvement brings renewed attention to discussions about efficacy and the impact of daylight savings time on our nation. This is silly.
When are you going to get rid of daylight savings time?
Okay, are you ready? So, this should be the easiest one of all, but it's a 50-50 issue. And if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light later, but some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue. And it's something I can do, but a lot of people like it one way, a lot of people like it the other way. It's very even. And usually I find when that's the case, what else do we have to do?
The clocks are going to spring forward on Sunday.
I get it. He was like, this is such a small issue in my administration of daylight savings time. Now, a lot of people are fighting.
This is an executive order
One
relating
second.
to the use of paper straw.
Give me 1 second. Let me just get rid of this tab altogether. Now, what he's stating is, this is such a small issue on my radar. Why would I waste my presidential powers? I mean, this is not my thing. Some Americans love an hour more of light. Other Americans like an hour more of the evening. It's split 50-50 as far as I can see it. And so a couple of my military buddies, we were online today and we were talking, and it was like, man, you lose an hour when time goes back. I said, stop it. I just said, stop it. I said, this is so silly. This is so stupid. Daylight savings time is so stupid. You know why? Because people say you lose an hour. You don't lose anything. It's 24 hours in a day, so you don't lose anything. And how about this? I tell people now, I know this is not really that feasible. I understand. But if you want to keep daylight savings time, just keep moving. I'm kidding. I'm like, just keep moving around until you get the hour you need. We got 4 time zones in America. I digress. Now, President Trump has expressed his commitment to dismantling the Department of Education. The department, what was established in 1979, is responsible for setting federal policies for education, administering federal assistance to schools, collecting data on U.S. schools, and enforcing federal educational laws regarding privacy and civil rights. Trump's proposal aims to shift control from the federal level to individual states, promoting localized decision-making in education. This move has sparked discussions among all these different political parties nonetheless. And what they believe in is that, oh, he's going to somehow violate people's civil rights because they're no longer going to have federal oversight in education in America. Well, he's doing this the same way he went about abortion. He's leaving it up to the states. He said, you guys need to establish, if you have not already, your own Department of Education. That is your burden now. The federal government is no longer doing it. Because again, we have to understand that the Department of Education was costing the country $1.6 trillion. The Department of Education was causing the country $1.6 trillion each and every year. And I'm not talking about operating costs. I haven't even factored operating costs of, paying people's salary, different locations, etc., websites. None of how the Department of Education operates. No, I'm not even referring to that. The Department of Education was giving out $1.6 trillion in loans each and every year. Now, we know we have a lot of loan entities in America that we can go to, but we know that it's almost a guarantee if we apply with the federal government that we'll get a grant and or loan. And that loan is deferred until, who knows, some people can take a course online and keep deferring their loan for years and years and years. But you can defer your loan for quite some time, as long as you're taking a class or in school or something of that nature. But it looks as though we are abolishing, we are eradicating, we are dismantling the Education Department of America. We are the Department of Education. We're getting rid of it altogether. Wow. Well, France, Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom have collectively endorsed an Arab plan for the reconstruction of Gaza. Now, the details of this Arab plan will not be elaborated upon in the sources I looked through, but its unified support signals a very collaborative international effort to address the humanitarian infrastructural needs of Gaza, who's really trying to gain their footing back and, stability in their region and start rebuilding their country, or at least that part of Palestine, rather. It's very ironic, though. Ever since President Trump has given interest to the Gaza Strip because it can be a great, they kept saying how phenomenal or a great location this would be for beach houses, essentially. But ever since he showed interest, have you noticed that, the European nations, the European Union, the UK, all of these countries, how they're really now gelling together, and now they are accepting the plan, and it seems as though they're trying to box out America. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Any opportunity to benefit the EU and the United Kingdom has been trying to benefit from any decision that President Trump has made. Let me give you some reference points. Number one, we stopped having Ukraine to take advantage of the liberal funding that we've given them over the past 4 years now. Over $350 billion. And America saw to step back from the table, especially when he came to the Oval Office and showed when he acted a fool in the Oval Office, speaking to our presidents, okay? That's number one. EU comes in with the United Kingdom, these European nations come in and say, we will now support Ukraine. Almost it's they're countering our president's moves. Like, okay, you have friction. You guys have a stark relationship between Ukraine. Well, we're going to come in, we're going to garner that, and we may even accept them inside of NATO. So now all those countries that are around Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, it's another Romania, are all jumping in the pot as if the European, it took Donald Trump to unify and to unite the European nations, it seemed like. Again, that's what it seems like to me. Then secondly, Donald Trump gave Hamas an ultimatum. Listen, President Trump gave Hamas an ultimatum dealing with the Gaza Strip, stating that if you do not release the Israeli hostages, it's going to be a bad day for you. And basically, he said he was going to murder them all. That's basically what he said. I'm paraphrasing. He said you're going to die or something like that. But basically, he said I'm going to go get some badass Americans, and we're going to go over there and we're going to take care of it. We're going to get special forces. We're going to get Navy SEAL teams. We're going to get Marine Force Recon. We're going to get the baddest mofos on earth. And we don't care how long it takes. We're going to get CIA agents, NSA agents, FBI agents, DEA agents, AT. Do you know how much law enforcement America has? America is the most police country in the world. I think the first form of law enforcement in America was the slave patrol. That, again, didn't change to the Park Service. Because the Park Service, they were controlling all the land, when there was no modern buildings or industries and like that, was like dirt and trees, and you built a log cabin. So the Park Service was like the second law enforcement in America. But nonetheless, we have hundreds of years of law enforcement training, like military. So they will go over there and hunt down each and every Hamas terrorist and kill them. Without a doubt. I don't doubt it, not one bit. I've seen a lot of things. I don't doubt it. But now the United Kingdom and European countries are now accepting the Arab reconstruction plan for Gaza. I thought President Trump wanted to. It just seems as though that the European nations are unifying and they are strategically countering Trump. And I'm pretty sure the Trump administration advisors, all these smart politicians, I'm pretty sure they see that and they know that. Didi Barr says he doesn't value education because he doesn't have an education. I guess, I thought he went to school. And here's the thing, guys. Again, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Kamala supporter. I'm none of this. I'm just giving it. But again, I do like to tell the truth. Last time I checked, Donald Trump did go to school. He did go to college. I can't speak to his intellect, his IQ, but he did go to college. So I don't know what that meant, by the way. But nonetheless, thank you guys for joining me here this evening. You know what? I think I have one more thing for you guys. I'm on discount. So if you're new to Blacklogic, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know every time that I go live or release a video. And while you're here at Blacklogic, we may agree a lot and we may disagree a lot. And that's the joy and fun of it all. You shouldn't just want to see people you agree with all day. Think about that. All day you just listen to somebody that you agree with. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no. It shouldn't be that way. It should be like, yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, I can see that. But you know what? I think it's more like this. My thing is, I want to listen to people. Now, don't get me wrong. I listen to a lot of people I agree with, but I also listen to a lot of people I disagree with because it gets my creative juices flowing of how we think about things and how people have different perspectives based on their information or their upbringing or what somebody told them. But I love listening to people I disagree with who can really facilitate a message where I feel like I want to accept it, but I still disagree. Does that make sense? Maybe not. I don't know. But let me share one thing with you guys very quickly. I want to point out this video because videos like this are the worst. Because I want you to picture this young man with a gun. That's all I want you guys to do. I want you to picture this young man with a gun right here. This young man that you see on your screen, I want you just to picture him with a gun. Picture him with a gun.
So I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you refusing to leave the property or identify your residency?
I'm about to go to the store.
Okay, so go. Get moving. If I see you back on property, you'll be detained. Because you do not live on property. You refuse to identify. And you're refusing to leave.
Who are you, dude?
Property security, it's what we're here for.
You haven't identified yourself.
I'm property security. I'm with Front Range
Yeah, I
Patrol,
don't know who,
33.
what's your name?
I don't have to give you my name. I'm not
What's
a
your
police
name?
officer. You don't pay my paycheck.
I don't have to
My
give you-
tax,
I don't
your
have to give
taxes
you- I don't
don't do
have to
nothing
give you
about me.
my
But
name.
your taxes have nothing to do with me.
I don't have to give you my name, dude.
Okay, so I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle now, man. I'm not going to do this with you tonight.
You're going to open my vehicle?
Absolutely. You're on private property. You're refusing to identify, and you're refusing to leave private property. Okay, what unit?
I live here.
What unit?
I live here.
So I can advise property management.
Who are you, dude?
Who on their property is acting like
Who
an
are you,
absolute
dude?
child?
This-
Okay, quick question. Now I am going to allow you guys to see the entirety of the video, but quick question. He's apartment security. And I guess these are like the most expensive apartments in the world because he's suited and booted. Now, he doesn't have a gun. That is a taser. But he opens up this guy's door. Like, instead of just reporting and monitoring, okay, and using his taser as a defense, okay, if somebody's trying to attack him, he uses it as a defense. Security for apartments, I've never seen them this aggressive unless you were like breaking the law, trying to hurt somebody, stealing something. This guy is literally in his car. Now, I didn't really pay attention to the front part because I'm looking at the actions. And he said, I'm on my way to the store. You could have took a picture of his license plate, reported him, gave whatever report you was going to give him, and let official law enforcement handle it. But this thing, if he had a gun, you saw how fast he put it out. Like he has been practicing that. And these, unfortunately, are the guys that become police officers. These are the guys. Because this is one of those instances where he feels like he has power, but he really doesn't. But he feels like he has power over that black guy. And again, I'm not trying to make this more racial than what it is. You know, the guy who's talking is black and that guy is white. But this picture him with a gun. Again, these subconscious bias that a lot of people have, hopefully that people are now speaking their minds and not getting counsel. Hopefully there can be some better race relations. I was looking at a X video and it was this black couple, black American couple. And they basically said to the white community, can we be friends? Can we just be friends? And I thought about it and I was like, I don't know what type of message that is, but I started to really think about it. And this is just one of my perspectives. I'll just share with you this one perspective. Both of us have been here for hundreds of years. Can we be friends? All these other people are trying to tear up America and root out America. Can we be friends? We're not going anywhere, and it looks like you're not going anywhere. Can we be friends? That's the way I thought about it. Let this finish.
Threats.
Make a threat?
Yeah, you told me, do you really want to do this right now? When I simply asked you to turn the music down and stop smoking in the parking garage.
I turned it down.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a threat.
I turned it down.
And I also advised you that you need to identify yourself.
And you open
or
my
at
door.
the very, because you're on private property.
No, I live here.
I don't care.
I live here, dude.
I don't care. You will refuse. I've refused on several occasions.
Dude,
You've been asked several times what unit you live in.
I'm about to go to the store.
Well, it's too late for that now.
No, it's
now
not.
We're waiting for my partner.
No, it's not, dude.
Yeah, we are.
You open my door, man. Okay. I'm about to go. Now this dude want to block me from leaving.
So you claim to be a resident? Are you going to tell me what unit you live in?
I'm trying to leave, dude.
Okay, so here's how it's going to go, man.
I'm trying to leave, bro.
What the deal is?
I'm trying to leave.
Oh, cool. So now you're willing to hear me.
I'm trying to leave,
Okay,
man.
so here's how it goes, man.
I'm trying to leave,
You're
dude.
refusing to identify what unit you live in.
I'm trying to leave,
And
dude.
as soon as you're questioned about it, you're like, oh, I actually live here. Oh,
I do.
now that they're actually going to do something, I'm going to decide to
I
leave
do.
property. So as far as we're concerned, you are not a resident of this property. If I see you on property again, you will be detained.
Okay.
If I see your car here, unless, again, I don't see any sort of permit. If I see your car in the parking lot again, it will be towed. You understand?
No, I don't, but okay.
No, it will.
I hear
It will.
you.
Okay. So are you going to come back to the property, or do
I
you
hear
understand?
you. I hear you.
You hear me? Awesome. Have a good night.
Yeah. I am so happy that young man does not have a gun. I am so happy that young man does not have a gun. I'm so happy he's not a police officer. Hopefully this video is shown, because a lot of these security guards that be at these apartment buildings and gated communities, these are the ones who are kind of the rejects from the cops and law enforcement, but they're still trying to be law enforcement. And then they eventually become law enforcement and they've never changed their ways. Here's my thing. I really think there needs to be a psych evaluation on all law enforcement. Because as soon as I saw this video, I was like, what if he had a gun? That's the only thing that came in my mind. He's pulling out tasers, and the guy wasn't even threatening him. He opened up his door. Can we see that again? One more time. He opened up his door and then pulled out his weapon, out his taser.
I don't
Your
have to
taxes
give, I don't
have
have to
nothing
give you my
about me,
name.
but your taxes have nothing to do with me.
I don't have to give you my name, dude.
Okay, so I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle now, man. I'm not going to do that.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that? That is a practice action. He opened up the door and pulled out his weapon. I'm just analyzing the tape from what I see. Oh, you don't have the full tape. You taking it out of context. I'm just letting you know the actions I see. He opens up this, this guy's car door, and he's not being the aggressor. The guy in the car is not being the aggressor. He just having a conversation. And then we later find out that he is a resident of that apartment building. But he's not the aggressor. And this guy just opens up his door. It looks like he has 2 cell phones. Like he got all these cameras. He got another chest camera, radio, maybe some pepper spray, a nightstick. Because he came up to the window one time with like a little baton nightstick and then a taser. But I just want to show you that action one more time. And am I overdoing this? Am I looking too deep into this? Let me know.
Okay, so I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle now, man. I'm not going to do this with you tonight. Nothing to do with me.
I don't have to give you my name, dude.
Okay, so I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle now, man. Your taxes have nothing to do with me.
I don't have to give you my name, dude.
Okay, so I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle now, man. I'm not going to do this with you tonight.
You're going to open.
His posture, his demeanor, everything like this is a gun. Like he's not pointing him at him or nothing like that, but he like, this is a gun. So you open up his door for whatever reason. Why did you open up his door? You're going to make him come out? You're trying to detain him? You're going to wait for your partner to come in to pull him out? I mean, what are you going to do? And if somebody tells me that this young man would have treated another white person like that, this is one of the few times I say you're a damn lie. And this is my bias. This is my bias. So on this channel, I'll let you guys know where I'm biased, because a lot of this action, a lot of this energy, I just don't see it. Not from an apartment building security guard. Yeah, buddy. This is Black Logic.